I will never. God said I can say never. You know why? Because my confidence in what he gave me to do, only time I speak is like God, like Jesus said. I just say what he telling me. Sometimes I won't say God telling me. I just speak it. Why? Because I'm confident in my position. I know what he might would say. When I know you ain't got no relationship with him, I never lose. You can make up all the excuses if you want. I won't lose. Now, that's the kind of confidence that you're supposed to have. Because what happens when a person challenges your relationship with Christ, you have to defend it because that's all you know. That's all you know. But yet, if you got to defend your relationship, you don't know God. That's how I know. When you try to challenge me back, if I ain't right, you'll never have to say that. Because you should say, well, if he got a relationship with God, he'll tell him. But if I come back, I'm telling you how much you don't have one. It's quite simple to me. So now when that happens, Arabia became the environment where Paul had to restudy what he knew. When I first left organized church, I stayed in the house about a year because you have to detox from the religiosity of what you thought was true, but now you see it ain't true. You got to break free from that mold of religion and understand what freedom means. So when you see Paul knew all these things, that's why when you read most of Paul's writing, he starts out with what this mean in the Old Testament and what they said. But if you in the spirit, this what it means and this what you do. So God did. He took them from let me see what I can use. He took them, y'all like Apple phone. He took them from a Apple phone and it's like he put them to that, what y'all got out, Apple 15, which means he had to rewrite his whole mindset, but yet he didn't take away the knowledge of what he knew. So you got to see this was a merging of the Old Testament with the New Testament with Christ as the center, not the law, not God, through Christ. So when you understand that, especially when you got an apostolic call on your life, this shift requires years of contemplation and revelation. I still go through that now. When he tell me to teach something, I refer back. I said, well, this is what they used to do in church. And then he'll give me a different revelation. He said, no, this is what I need you to say. See, even as I teach this, I'm not teaching it how I used to teach it. And I just fly by Arabia and I never gave you that deep insight or the deep understanding of, okay, this what's happened. Because now many of you are in that place that it might take 2 or 3 years before you really understand what God wants you to do. See, that's the difference between having a leader after God's own heart or a leader after the flesh. See, they'll send y'all through a minister and training class and you be in there 6 months, they got you up preaching. But when you in a leaders of God's own heart, there's already a pattern. Jesus spent 3 years with the disciples. Paul spent 3 years in Arabia. When you hear real apostles talk, or you hear me talk about my friend in Seattle, he said, yeah, Dietrich, I've been here about 3 years. I got to go. Everywhere we go, it's usually 2 or 3 years. It depends on how the person grow. Depends how they grow. But he said to the exact day, he said, yeah, May the 22nd or whatever it was, he said, I have been here in 3 years. I got to go. It's wired in us. Wired in us. Now, that's for ministry purpose now. Because now that he's getting married, he's moving to Mississippi. But I asked him, what you gonna do for ministry? And he said, I haven't got it all. Maybe God will tell me when I get there. He said, but I really want us to start the podcast. I said, okay, we'll do that. See, that's a transitioning phase. So now what he's doing, the people in Seattle who you help, now they got a platform that they can come to and keep up with what's going on. But not only do you keep up what's going on, now you'll be with a friend who don't go. There's the connection. Even though I talk about it, I don't got nothing against it if you understand what you're doing. He been in theology school and got all the theology degree. I just went to the spirit. I know what happened to spirit. So just like Paul, whatever he says from a theology standpoint, I can say it from a spiritual standpoint. The persons that listen, you get the whole idea. That's all Paul did.
Transformation, center we proclaim. Whoa, living more than just a name. Yeah, moving from a church kingdom mindset.